What up?
That new intro, though,
I like it. It's pretty fire.
it looks great. Guys, I'm so happy to be here tonight with our new theme, basically starting off season 3 a little bit fresh. But Mr. J. Matthew, want to thank you for coming on tonight. Vib can't join us tonight, but he did say to everybody hello, and he hopes everybody's having a good week. But how's your week going, Jay?
Man, it's been incredible. It's been going by fast. Last week was great. This week's off to a good start. How about yourself, my guy, Dalt?
It's been good. Work has been really, really nice. And I've been taking a lot of risks at work, a lot of gambles. And you know who also took a lot of gambles and a lot of risks? Calvin Ridley.
I knew it was
Oh,
coming.
my God. You made a good point today, Jay. And I want you to tell everybody what you said because I agree with you. It's a worse
Twitter
penalty for Watson, right?
Yeah. Deshaun Watson technically could have played all season this year. He had no restrictions against him. He chose to sit out. He could have played all season, and he was out here, being sexually inappropriate to like 50 plus women. Well, Calvin Ridley was out here just playing some slots. You know what I'm saying? Putting some parlays in on probably some bad beats. Probably bet on the Lions once or twice. Probably. If you bet on the Lions, you deserve at least a 1-game ban. But anyway, but he was doing his thing out there. Although they did cover a few times, so I'm gonna take that back. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy, Viv. My bad. Viv's not even here. Hey, Viv, we missed you. See, like we want you here. Anyway, but yeah, dog, how you feeling about this though?
I agree. Like what you said with your tweet, I completely agree with because the penalty's worse, which makes no sense in the eyes of the NFL because the moral aspect behind it. But stupid on Calvin Ridley's part, really stupid, I'm not gonna lie. And it makes you wonder, as an Eagles fan, I can roll the film back if I had it, but there's definitely film somewhere of me being like, oh, I can't wait. I know for a fact there is on 302 Bird saying, I can't wait for Calvin Ridley to come to Philadelphia. I think that this guy is going to be a stud for us. But at the end of the day, man, if you're that dumb that you're in the NFL and you know the rules are, do not bet. Why are you betting? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's a head scratcher for sure.
Well, you know what's funny about this whole thing is that he actually was. I heard he was gambling on the Falcons every time. Is what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but that's a quick way to make some money because you're like, hey, I don't know, maybe he had some inside information. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I thought it was maybe he was just out here hustling. He's like, I make my game check and then I make this check. I don't know, but I just think that this is the point that I want to make though, Dalt. How do you feel about this? So Deshaun Watson, I don't know much about Deshaun Watson. I don't think he's that great, but he's good enough to where the NFL wants him to play because he's like a borderline top 15 quarterback. Some people have him top 10 maybe, but the point is that Deshaun Watson can go out here and sexually whatever to all these women. Ray Lewis is so good; he could out here literally murder somebody. I heard all these great players. Ben Roethlisberger can do some stuff and be fine. They can do whatever they want because the NFL wants them to play. What do you think, Dal, on Calvin Ridley and them banning him? Because if that was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or somebody that was an elite talent, they wouldn't be banning him over gambling. I don't think. Does that say that Ridley's not in that tier of players where Devontae Adams can do whatever he wants? You know what I'm saying? Aaron Hernandez was out here killing people, literally. I mean, rest in peace. But I'm just saying, is he not at that level where he can't get away with this stuff? Adrian Peterson beating his kid to death or something like that, right? He can't get away with it.
Yeah, all these things are so true, and there's so many more that weren't even mentioned that we don't want to overshadow, of course, but there's so many more that it's like gambling. It's just really, really a head scratcher. But I mean, props to the NFL for cracking down on this, I guess. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm just saying that other things need to be taken more into account. Cheating, for example. How do you think I feel as an Eagles fan with Spygate? They're like, oh, yeah, well, we did do that. Yep. But it's in the past. Can't really do anything about it now. Sucks to suck. What? That's so not fair. I mean, we could have 2 Super Bowls, and I would, not have to hear it as much from Cowboys fans. I still would, but.
Hang your head on this, Dal, is that that Eagles team that won Super Bowl is the only team that legitimately could have ever beaten Tom Brady or anybody for that matter. That team was just so good that year. And there was no luck. That team was just that good. Nick Foles made that touchdown catch at Philly special, and no one could stop that. That was amazing.
That was freaking amazing. Thank you for acknowledging that as an outside opinion. And not a lot of people want to talk about that. Moving on to kind of a somber topic, but it's somebody that we like to pay a lot of tribute to on the podcast. Hey, raise that Capri Sun up for this guy, Jay. Raise it up. Madden 23. John Madden, rest in peace. But like you said, Jay, RIP. Who do you think will be on the cover this year? I mean, John Madden obviously will be the Legend Edition. I think the main cover of Madden. But if it wasn't John Madden per se, maybe what athlete do you think this year deserved to be on there?
Well, you know, me and you were big on JT. We had him as MVP candidate this year. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show my LA bias, and I'm going to take Cooper Kupp as the cover athlete just because what he did this year was insane. I mean, one of the best receiver seasons we've ever seen. He finally got to play with a top-tier quarterback, an elite quarterback. In my opinion, the number 2 quarterback in the NFL right now. So you see what he can do. He can do it again. I think he's going to have a better season next year. So I think you really want to see Cooper Kupp, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, over JT, who didn't even make the playoffs this year, although he balled out. So I'm going to say Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I think that Cooper Kupp's a great answer. I'll play devil's advocate. I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor. I love JT. Like you said, we said that he should have been MVP all this year. And I think that this is a fair point to say. Cooper Kupp didn't rely. Let me just think about how I want to say this so I don't get butchered in the comments. Cooper Kupp didn't. See, I'm trying to think about the perfect way to say it because it's a very complex statement and I don't want to be misconstrued.
Get roasted, dog. It's all right.
All right, Cooper Kupp. Jonathan Taylor's offense relied more on him than Cooper Kupp's offense relied more on him. Summed up.
Okay.
I feel like Jonathan Taylor was more. Without Jonathan Taylor, the Jets offense would have sucked more. Without the Rams offense, without Cooper Kupp sucking more. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you know the Jets suck. You just call them the Jets. That's how bad they suck. You just call them the Jets right now, dog. That's how bad they suck. You're like, they might as well be a 0-17 team. I'm just playing. But what I will say, though, is that I give props to Cooper Kupp in the Super Bowl. Without OBJ, I mean, if whatever Robert Woods, if you want to count that, but with him being the main focal point on offense, was still able to score that touchdown that really sealed the deal for the Rams. So, I mean, I'm not going to get in the Super Bowl right now because we know Joe Burrow. I think he just choked and he's not ready yet. But besides the point, Cooper Kupp is that guy. So.
Yeah, he is that guy, and I think that's that fun answer too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Cooper Kupp's probably like the answer that everybody wants to see on Madden, besides, of course, John Madden himself. But I think Jonathan Taylor, all I'm saying is I feel like JT, in my opinion, I feel like he gets underappreciated this season or it's overshadowed by Cooper Kupp because, like I'm saying, without Jonathan Taylor, what is that Colts offense going to do?
Your boy Carson Wentz.
Last year. Carson Wentz, exactly. Exactly, bro. You are on that chemistry right now because you're exactly right. It would have been trash. So give JT some credit. Maybe next year I think that he might be on there, but I think I agree with you. It's got to be that man, Cooper Kupp.
Hey, but I will say this. Outside of any Charger, at least on social media, Jonathan Taylor's TikTok is probably one of my favorite TikToks to kind of watch every now and then. I don't even really like watching other people's TikToks that much outside of other content creators like ourselves. But his TikToks are pretty lit. He got his little girlfriend. They be doing stuff. It's the whole thing.
Really is so fun story about Jonathan Taylor is from about 40 minutes away from me. He's from Salem High School in South Jersey, which is basically right over the bridge. And I really like JT. I got a lot of respect for him. And speaking of running backs, Shay, we got another running back that could potentially be on the move. Saquon Barkley.
Ooh!
What do you think, bro?
Saquon Barkley. Let's look at the tape here. 25 years old, very young. He's 6 foot tall, 232. Round 1, pick 2 overall, 19 career TDs. But he did most of those, like you said here, in his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
So Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs in the NFL. In theory, in our minds, I hear Saquon Barkley and I'm like, yo, this guy is one of the best of all time. Now, other people are like, what has he really done since his rookie year? He got the injury. He came back this year. It was bad. So, you know what? I think that a move might actually do well for Saquon. And whoever gets him that needs a running back, I think it's going to be a good fit because I don't know what he's really doing in New York because they're not really using him well. I watched a lot of Giants games last year, and it was like he was just getting tackled in the backfield after breaking a tackle. He would break a tackle and still not even make it to the line of scrimmage. So, yeah, I think I think he should go somewhere else. I think if the Giants can get a decent piece for Saquon Barkley, I think he'd really benefit the team. It's kind of like the Ben Simmons situation out in Philly. Like, who won the trade? The Nets won the trade, but so did the Nets. You know what I'm saying? But so did the Sixers. I think that's what's going to happen with the Giants. I think the Giants, no matter what they get back, even if it's not as good of a value, they're still going to win, and the other team's still going to win because they got Saquon Barkley. So that's kind of how I see it. How you feeling about it, dog?
You just kind of hit the nail on the head. Like, in theory, I love how you said that because I totally agree, bro. In theory, Saquon Barkley is one of the best backs in the league. But in all actuality, 15 touchdowns coming from his rookie year. I'm so glad you picked that up. If I was doing the podcast with one of my friends from high school, they would have been like, Saquon's elite is what this tells. Now, you are good at this, Jay. That's what that tells me. But anyway, for real, I got to really say, Saquon, 25 years young, man, get out of there. Like you said, that offensive line wasn't good, but, I mean, running back is also the most disposable position in the NFL, and you can be changed real quick. Where I think that he would fit, NFL Mike said it best, our Mike. He said San Francisco 49ers, and I honestly think, believe it or not, with the cap situation, what if Saquon Barkley doesn't have to move? What if Saquon Barkley doesn't have to pack his things, but he can stay on a different team, but stay in the same home? What if he goes to the Jets?
That's interesting because one part of me thinks like, all right, it's a lateral move, literally, like physically and in football terms, because you're gonna go on another bad team where you're not gonna really do much.
Yep.
I don't know though. It's tough. Like Zach Wilson and Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, whatever I'm gonna say, kind of like the same kind of quarterback right now. Like he was hyped. He was a top draft pick when he came out. Everyone thought he was gonna be like the next big thing, and then he just kind of hasn't. That's kind of what I feel about with Zach Wilson. Kind of the same guy right now. The team isn't much better. I don't know. Saquon Barkley is going to feel like he's on the same team wearing a different color. So I don't know. I think the Niners make sense because Elijah Mitchell, who I don't think is a good running back, went off with that offensive line. Trent Williams and those guys blocking, and Deebo Samuel being kind of that piece that can do everything. So, yeah, I would love to see Saquon Barkley and Deebo Samuel kind of just go crazy out of the backfield. Because how are you going to stop that? If you have Deebo on this side and you have Saquon on this side, then you have Kyle Juszczyk somewhere. Like, who's going to get the ball? Because all those guys can ball out. And then at that point, you get rid of Kittle, like we were talking about in the last show. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of Kittle, bring in Saquon, get a blocking tight end, and just run the ball nonstop. You don't even need a quarterback. Put Trey Lance out there, put me out there, put you out there. It doesn't even matter. Just hand the ball off.
Put you out there, put me out there. What about, I just thought about this one too. What if he went to the Dolphins and played with our guy, Mike McDaniel, and he was the guy that Tua needs to help him out? What do you think about that, Jay? Him potentially going down there and playing with your guy, Mike McDaniel?
Well, I will say this. Dolphins fans will be really happy if this happens because I've talked to some Dolphins fans, and unlike me, they don't like Myles Gaskin at all for some reason. They hate him. They think he sucks. I'm sorry, Myles. I like you. But I think that would be a good fit because the Dolphins seem to lack a running back, supposedly. That's what they're feeling like out there. So if you guys don't like Myles, and Saquon Barkley is that guy. And I think even if you like Myles, I like Myles, but Saquon Barkley is a pretty big upgrade either way. So, yeah, I think that would be good. Tua has a guy that's reliable to hand the ball off to, those short routes to, and then hopefully get some guys open deep that he can kind of chuck the ball down and start looking like an NFL top 15 quarterback.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens with a lot of players in the NFL this year. This is definitely one of them. I feel like this is the first time in the NFL where players are really, really just able to get what they want when they want. Like, if they want out, there's no such thing as a contract situation anyway. You can have a contract, but a contract is like you said earlier. In theory, I have a contract. Do I? Right? Isn't it that way, though? Right? True?
Yeah. It's very player-friendly now. It's the opposite, though, for the teams. Like, if you have no trade clause, we can't trade you. But if you got a contract and you want out, I mean, you will find a way out. There's going to be a way that, it's going to happen. So we've seen that with Ben Simmons kind of talking about just players in general. Like, I can't believe Ben Simmons. He's insane. Side note, I know it's off topic, but he's not going to be playing against the Sixers. I think it's on Thursday
what are
night.
your thoughts on that real quick before we move on to our next topic?
I just think that it's insane because, and this goes back to Calvin Ridley and citing mental health issues, which we understand it's like a real thing, obviously. And I actually side with all the people who are dealing with it. Get through it. It's tough. It's really tough. But him playing against the Sixers would probably just take him out for the rest of the season for mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really the case. He might have so much anxiety. But here's the problem, dog, because everyone's saying the Nets won the trade, and people are saying maybe it was a win-win, which I think it is. If the Sixers play the Nets in the playoffs, is Ben Simmons just done? Is he out for the season? That's like if Kawhi Leonard plays a team that just goes after his knees all game. Like, he's not going to play very long. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, kind of. Like, that's going to really mess up.
Yeah, like every home game for the Nets is Kyrie not going to play, and every away game is Ben not going to play. They're just going to switch off. Like, for real, it feels that way. But yeah, that's a great point, man. I mean, I won't go too much into it because I can talk about it for hours, but I want to keep it moving just a little bit just because Robson's coming on, so I'll just bring on the timer. But Western Conference MVP. Who's yours, Mr. J Fly?
I'm going to take my guy, Ja. Fellow Dreadhead, you know what I'm saying? He's locked up. I like Ja Morant. I seen him play live, and that guy is so good that he don't need to play 4 quarters. He just be sitting on the bench because, well, actually, in that case, I think he was getting blown out by the Suns when I went to go see him. But I seen him. I was courtside. He was having a good time. Love my guy, Ja. LeBron James, man. Love LeBron, but the Lakers suck this year. And actually, it's not his fault. It's AD's been hurt, and AD's their best player. And then Russell Westbrook, supposedly their 3rd best player, has been playing like he's like their 8th best player. So I can't blame LeBron. Curry obviously is in the conversation. I mean, the Warriors are doing great with him. The come bucket has been balling. I seen him play against the Lakers. Actually, he was going nuts at 19 years old. Devin Booker's my guy. He'd be my 2nd pick. I love my guy D Book. And then of course, Jokic is a beast. He was a reigning MVP. He won it last year. So I mean, I'd have to go Ja, D Book right now, and then Jokic. But Jokic really could win it again. I wouldn't be surprised. He's a beast.
He won. Yeah, so I wouldn't be shocked if Jokic won it either. I think he would be just a stud because he is a stud. But you also look, you pointed out Devin Booker, you got him. But I love who you also pointed out, Ja. Ja Morant is turning into a stud, and it's right before our very eyes. I really like Ja, and I like LeBron too. I think LeBron's making a name for himself. It's just LeBron's so old, it's tough for him to still do anything in my mind. But then you got Steph Curry. And Steph Curry, I think I put him up here just because there's always that case with him. But Steph really, like, let's be honest, like besides the All-Star game, he's kind of been off this year. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's been so weird because, like, you look at the Warriors roster, and they were talking about this on over the weekend, the guys at ESPN, and they were just saying how, like, you look at the Lakers, and the Lakers look like they're just a super stacked team. They can do anything. But they just don't have any effort. Like, if you watch the game, LeBron James isn't even getting to half court on defense. LeBron James isn't making wide open layups. He's not playing any defense at all. Russell's not playing defense. You look at the Warriors, all their guys are playing defense. All their guys are moving the ball. All their guys are hustling and are running. So Steph Curry doesn't need to be that crazy, like, 50-point, 40-point a night scorer. Like, he could just kind of do his thing, play his role, hit some threes when needed in clutch time, and then rely on his team and play as a unit. And that's what I really liked about the Warriors in general with KD. And now they're back to that team ball, that effort, and they believe that they can win a championship, I think, this year. I don't know if they're going to win it. I don't think they'd probably win, honestly, dog. But they're playing as a team, and that's going to benefit Curry. He doesn't have to ball out like that. So
that's such facts. It's going to be interesting for the Western Conference. The one thing that I'll say, too, before we wrap up is that boy Devin Booker. That Suns game the other night, I was at the cigar lounge watching that, where they had the buzzer beater. Yeah, we were Joe Burrow, you feel me? And that Suns game though, for real, was absurd. That was
against
very
the Bucks?
entertaining. I think it was. They hit it. It might have been against somebody else. I just know that they hit a buzzer beater against them. But you're gonna love this next topic because we talked about this not ideally the same week as Robson. I didn't completely copy that show, but if you guys look, I put the link to the show that we originally did with our guest tonight, Robson, who's coming through, in the chat of the show. So you can see it there. But anyway, it's apparently true that Denver, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and that's really it. And, of course, the Green Bay Packers are the finalists for Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be where he's going to go next year if he doesn't stay in Green Bay. The real question is he going to become the highest paid player in the NFL ever? I think it's no question that he would be the highest paid QB. But is he going to go to somewhere where he built land? Is he going to go to Colorado where they're going to be a super team? Let's be honest. Is he going to go to Pittsburgh, which I think would just be good for his brand? What do you think, Jay Fly? Take it away.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you know. I'm going to invite our guy Robson into the group really quick. What up, Robson? Good to see you.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, Robson's in the house. Robson, you're going to hear a good take right now. You're going to probably agree with me. But anyway, this is what's going to happen. There's only one option. The Steelers are trash. Don't go to Steelers. That's not going to happen. The Titans should have went to the Super Bowl this year if they didn't, have Ryan Tannehill. Why do you throw the ball? Hand the ball off, win the game. You have Derrick Henry right there. I don't know what the coach was thinking. But you don't have to, we see this with Sean McVay. You don't have to be a good coach if you have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback and Derrick Henry at running back and you have those wide receivers. All you do is like McVay, just, hey, Matt Stafford, just throw the ball to anybody. And so someone will catch it. That's what you do with Aaron Rodgers now. But with that being said, that'd be great for Tennessee. I think he's going to Denver. I'm telling you, he's going to Denver. He's playing with that defense because defense wins championships. You add Aaron Rodgers, they're going to at least the AFC Championship game, if not win the whole thing. So, yeah, I got Aaron Rodgers to Denver. That's what I'm saying. I think they'll make it to at least the AFC Championship game with Aaron Rodgers under the helm. How you feeling?
Dalton's like chewing on a gummy worm or something. What the hell are you eating over there, dude?
Can you hear that?
Yes, we can hear. We can see it. We can see it.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if you could hear it. I knew you could see it. I don't mind seeing. I don't want you to hear.
Is this a sports channel or an ASMR channel? What the hell are we doing up in here?
It was.
What has happened since I have been away?
It was a chicken strip. It was a chicken strip, Robson. You're always so critical of the show when you come.
Well, good Lord above. We're supposed to be professional up in here, gentlemen.
All right, Robson. Well, on that note, I will let the professional take this take first. But what do you think about this, bro? Welcome back for real. We're happy to have you.
And it's happy to be back as always. Now, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, man. I'm going to get a lot of hate for what I'm about to say about this man right here. He's not a winner, ladies and gentlemen. As great as he is on the field, this man has had all the tools possible with the Green Bay Packers. Solid weapons throughout his entire career. Now, I will admit the defenses haven't been great, and sometimes the coaching hasn't been great. But with the great talent of Aaron Rodgers, I will not deny he is one of the top talents quarterback in terms of the quarterback position ever, if not the greatest talented quarterback ever. One Super Bowl to his name for all of that? You're really going to tell me that is someone who you're going to give Derrick Henry? That's a great option to have. You're going to give him A.J. Brown. You're going to give him Julio Jones. You're going to give him all that. I still don't think he can win with it. He had the best wide receiver in the entire game in Davante Adams, who was just ripping through everybody, and he was only able to score, 10 points against the San Francisco 49ers in Green Bay in the snow, which is not a situation where the 49ers are accustomed to. You're really going to say that is going to be a guy that you want leading your team to a Super Bowl when he can't even get there with all the stuff he had in Green Bay? I'm sorry. Call me a hater all you want. Aaron Rodgers, I don't give a damn where he goes. Winning will not follow him.
Wait, hey, Robson, I gotta ask you a quick question. You don't think he at least makes the AFC Championship game if he goes to Denver?
I mean, he can make the AFC Championship game all he wants to. The question is he going to win a championship? My answer is no, because
he's a loser. We know that. We know he's a loser. Hey, how you feeling though, Pop?
All right, here's what I'll say. I want to say this. I like what Robson just said. He did have all the tools. He had Aaron Jones. He had Davante Adams. He had a solid defense, and he choked, and then he choked again. And then, look, Robson, look at this guy right here. This guy said that Jimmy G was good. Look, Robson. He said that, and you know what? He was right. He was damn right that Jimmy G was good. Because it was just embarrassing for Aaron Rodgers, who is arguably, if not undisputedly, definitely a top 10 QB of all time, but if not a top 5. How do you do that? But if he's going to go somewhere, I love Tennessee. Building land there, go with Derrick Henry. He's older. Let Derrick Henry do most of the work, and then just have some guy who's not Ryan Tannehill who can use Julio Jones. It's like almost like bulletproof. Like if he screws this up, I don't know if I can put him top 10 anymore if he goes to Tennessee. Anybody have anything else that they want to say about it?
I mean, yeah, we kind of all reiterated the same thing. I mean, he is Aaron Rodgers, one of the top most talented quarterbacks ever, but all of that for one championship. And I know winning championships is hard, especially for Aaron Rodgers when he grew up basically in an era where he had a guy like Tom Brady just dominating everyone. You had Peyton Manning at the time. You had Eli Manning even. He was stopping Brady from winning, 10 rings? I don't even know. But Aaron Rodgers, you have to look at the history. How many times have we looked at him and the team of the Green Bay Packers with all those weapons and said, that is the team that is going to win it all? They have finished first in the NFC how many straight years at this point now? All for it not to matter because they either get in their first game, get booted, or they get to the championship game and get booted then. It doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers consistently underperforms in the playoffs. And say what you want. You can give him all the tools you want. That's why I say I don't really care where he goes. Now, I do think Tennessee is number one option for him if he is to leave Green Bay. But either way, what's he going to do? He's going to get to the AFC Championship game, face off against Mahomes, face off against Joe Burrow, face off maybe even again a team I think is a really, really good chance of being there in the end, the LA Chargers, and Justin Herbert. He's going to get there, and he's going to choke again. I'm sorry, but that's just the story of Aaron Rodgers' career. So good, but not good enough.
Hey, this is what I'll say. This is what I'm going to say, Robson. And I say this as a person who likes the Titans. Like, I like the Titans. They're cool. I think they're cool, too. They have cool colors. The bright blue is cool. Look, the Green Bay Packers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Tennessee Titans are some losers. And if Aaron Rodgers goes there and he's a loser, you got two losers in the situation out of two, and it's not good. Denver, on the other hand, there's some winners. Peyton Manning won one Super Bowl in Indianapolis with the Colts. He went to Denver, and he won another one really quick. Aaron Rodgers could possibly do the same thing. If he's going to win a Super Bowl, it's going to have to be in Denver because I don't see Green Bay. That's why I've never believed in Aaron Rodgers. I don't believe in the Packers. Don't believe in the Steelers. They suck. Don't believe in the Titans. I mean, I like the Titans. I believe in them because I like them. But in all honesty, what have they done ever? Like, in my entire history of watching football, they have done nothing. At least the Packers won that one Super Bowl, like, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it was. But anyway, so all I'll say is go to the Broncos and give yourself a chance at least. Make the AFC Championship. If you could beat one of those great quarterbacks in the AFC, you go to the Super Bowl, and then you probably lose, but hey, at least you're there, right? So
you are there.
Robson, in honor of you, we wanted to start the first topic off with your favorite team that was decided by a coin flip. A lot of people don't know this who's watching the show tonight. Me and Alex Robson could have been blood brother Eagles fans. But instead, because of a coin flip, it was tell us the story. I'll let you tell it.
Robson, you should never do a coin flip ever again, by the way.
I haven't said
and why don't you pick like the Patriots and like the Broncos are two rich franchises? Why'd you tell us?
You asked me to tell the story, and now you're telling it for me. How about I just get into it? Okay. Now, let me speak. So, I'm a very young boy at this time, probably getting ready to start middle school. So, think of a young Alex Robson, much skinnier, and probably a lot more handsome, too. But my entire life, I grew up around sports. My dad was a big Seattle Seahawks fan, still is. And my first ever football game I watched on my own volition, not watching a Seahawks game with my dad, was a game between the New York Jets, when they were actually good, and the Philadelphia Eagles. The New York Jets back then had those AFL throwbacks, the New York Titans throwbacks, the white jerseys, the blue helmets, and kind of that mustard yellow pants. I thought that was cool. Eagles were wearing all black. I thought that was really cool, too. I'm a young kid. Grab the nearest coin. I like both teams' colors. Heads, Eagles. Tails, Jets. Flip that coin. Landed on tails. Never done a coin flip in my life again because I became a Jets fan via a coin flip. I think it's bogus. Never do it, ladies and
I'll tell you this, Robson. Only Josh Allen has had worse luck with coin flips, and even that is close.
Robson, I got a question for you, though. Is it finally time for your New York Jets to overcome adversity and be a good team again? Tell us what you think, brother.
I'm telling you right now.
I don't mean in a sarcastic way. Like, I legit am excited for you guys. Jay's laughing over there.
Jay laughs at everything. But anyway, it better damn well should be with the New York Jets because the time for play is over. Joe Douglas, the general manager, is heading into his third time with the New York Jets, his third offseason. He's been incredibly passive in his first two, and the guys he's signed hasn't worked out very well. and the draft classes have been okay. There's been some gems, guys like Bryce Hall, Michael Carter, Elijah Moore. But then there's been some really bad ones too. We don't know about Mekhi Becton. We really, really messed up with the Cameron Clark pick, even though that's due to injury. You can't really say much about that. But in the end, it comes down to one big factor. You got to build around the guy that's pictured in this photo, Zach Wilson. He had in my opinion, up and down rookie season, a tale of two rookie seasons, in my opinion. That first half before the injury, he was god-awful, but when he came back from it, he seemed to have settled down and figured things out. I think the New York Jets, they have all that capital, they have the draft picks, they have the cap space. The New York Jets have to start putting the pieces together here. Be aggressive in free agency, get your guys in the draft, and you will have a team that, in my opinion, it has to be at least competing for a wild card spot come December. The games still need to matter come the end of the season for the New York Jets. No more should we be talking about the draft in the offseason with the New York Jets this coming season. The New York Jets have to compete for a playoff spot at the end of next season. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of names on a lot of hot seats, and Joe Douglas will be the first one.
Facts. What are you thinking, Jay?
Well, first, can you tell me that joke again about something about the Jets being like good or something? I forgot what it was, but it was funny. I don't know. But anyway, it's the Jets, man. It's the Jets.
Jay, you say that, but the minute the Jets start winning, man, I was a Jet fan the whole time. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. We'll see if it happens. You're not lying, but I don't see it happening. But anyway, I'll tell you this: there's a few teams like I could see the Steelers being good one day. I could see the Packers being good one day. We just talked about how they suck, although they were good in the 80s or something like that. But anyway, Cowboys could be good one day. The Jets and the Browns are just two teams that always have sucked so bad. I cannot see them ever being good in my lifetime. I just can't see it. But I root for the Jets, although I don't root for the Browns because the Browns are a weird name, just like the Commanders. I'll never root for the Commanders anymore. It's a stupid name. I like the Jets. I want to root for them. I want to see them do well, Robson. I genuinely actually want to see the Jets do decent. Like, I want to see them do something. So, will they overcome adversity? They have 2 top 10 draft picks. Yeah, it's fine. I don't think they're going to be good like next season, but hopefully they'll win like 6-7 games and we'll have like 1 or 2 good ones that we can like really be excited about. They're like, wow, that was a great game by the Jets. I was entertained. It was fun. And then maybe in like, maybe a season to like 4, like they might like make a wild card spot and then get eliminated in like the second round by like the Chiefs or someone good like Baker Mayfield did. And then we'll realize that Zach Wilson's a fraud and then we'll get over him and it's over. Anyway, I don't want to say too much about the Jets because
Don't even compare Baker Mayfield to Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has more talent than Baker Mayfield ever could wish he had.
Well, Sam Darnold has more talent than all 3 of them.
Sam Darnold is the biggest bum in the history of the NFL. Don't even come at me with that name. Especially now because the Panthers are trying to move off of him and nobody wants him again. Remember all those conversations we had about everyone said, oh, yeah, it's the Jets' fault. Looking at you, Brian Bolster. I know you were out there somewhere talking all that praise about Sam Darnold. Where is it now? Nobody wants that piece of trash.
Nobody's talking that. Nobody's talking that now because the Jets are going to come back. They're going to be back. And I got to agree with Robson. There's a bright outlook. And if they don't, like Robson said at the end of his take, somebody's ass is going to be on the line, basically. Like, it's going to be a lot of people because this team, Zach Wilson, 4 top 40 draft picks, that's insane to think about. And they have a lot of money to spend in the next couple seasons. We were talking earlier about Saquon Barkley potentially going there. And at the end of the day, what I'll say is it's a bright outlook for the Jets. I just wonder where will they go. But I honestly have faith in them because I like their coach. He's defensive-minded, and I think that defensive-minded coaches figure it out. So I think the outlook's bright for you. But on the last rebuttal, moving on from this, I'm going to give it to the man. Tell us what you wanted to say about your team wrapping up here.
The potential is there. I love Zach Wilson. I think the potential he showed, especially at the end of the year, is great. Took care of the football, did not turn it over, and looked good against really tough odds. Where his number 1 wide receiver at one point was Braxton Berrios. Let's just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. The potential is there. They have a solid offensive line that needs just one more piece, in my opinion, at the right guard. They need one more good running back along with Michael Carter. Add weapons for Zach Wilson and watch him work. And in the draft, the biggest thing, in my opinion, with that 4th overall pick is what happens with Kayvon Thibodeau, the defensive end out of Oregon. If he is there at 4 and you form a defensive line with Kayvon Thibodeau, Carl Lawson, Quinnen Williams, and John Franklin Myers, that is top tier in the NFL already, and that fits the Robert Saleh brand of pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. That is going to be almost unstoppable, if you ask me. They got to work on that secondary, but the pieces are there. The Jets, there is no more time for this rebuild because the 3 to 4 year rebuilds are done. You need 2 to 3 years to build a roster with talent, and the Jets are hitting that benchmark. Joe Douglas, it's time to be aggressive, make the big moves, build around your franchise quarterback, and go try and do something with them. Please, for God's sake, I've lived too much of my young life seeing this team suck. Please, one playoff appearance in my lifetime is all I ask for. Is that too much to ask?
Or you can change teams, Robson. I mean, there's other teams.
Yeah,
I did that
true.
one time. I did that one time to the Panthers, and they traded for Sam Darnold not long after. So I'm lucky now. I'm sticking with the Jets.
Before, gentlemen, I would like to talk about this topic a little bit longer, but I got a couple more topics I want to go over with you guys. So what we can do to keep this one moving is, Robson, you can talk about Drake London. I'll talk about, or actually we'll mix it up. We'll put Jay to talk about Treylon Burks. We won't have a bias. And then I'll talk about Garrett Wilson. This was your mock draft. We can just do this in like 3 minutes real quick, but you can take it first, Robson. What do you think about Drake London going to the Browns? Because I love this pick. I disagree with Jay. I like the Browns.
Yep, in my first mock draft, which I will be talking about in my next episode of the Robson Sportscast. At 13th overall, I got Drake London, the wide receiver out of USC, headed to the Cleveland Browns. Why the Cleveland Browns? Because you got to start figuring this thing out with Baker Mayfield. You got to give him tools to show off. The Odell Beckham situation looks awful on Baker Mayfield. You got to start trying to right that wrong. Drake London's a great pick. Absolutely massive human being. I believe he stands in about 6'5" for a wide receiver. That is absolutely massive. Good route running ability. Really can go up against the defender and catch the football. He turns every 50-50 ball into about 70-30 because that's just how good he is. He can really make the tough catches. Has good speed and athleticism as well. This is the kind of pick that you need to make to try and make Baker Mayfield's image in front of the NFL world look a little bit better. He's going to be a guy that can bail him out on occasion. Lord knows Baker Mayfield needs plenty of that. Now, he's not my wide receiver 1. I have him about my wide receiver 3 or 4 in my mock draft, but this is a solid pickup, a guy I think has a load of potential, and if they get the quarterback position right with Baker Mayfield, this guy will shine. I like Drake London a lot, and I have him going to the Browns.
All right. What do you think about Treylon Burks going to the Eagles, Jay?
If you guys don't know, Robson compared the last Eagles rookie wide receiver, saying he's the next Calvin Johnson, Megatron. So, I mean, if you get Treylon Burks and you have Megatron on the same team, I feel like that team's going to be really nasty. So I like Treylon Burks to the Eagles. I think that this wide receiver class is really good, so I think you should snag a wide receiver if there's not another need or player available. So you got Jalen Hurts. It seems like you want to give him 1 year to really prove that he's that guy before giving up on him. Get Treylon Burks. You know what I'm saying? You have Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Reagor, I think he's on that last chance season too, in my opinion, because I think he could be really good. He just hasn't shown it. So you have those 3 wide receivers. Of course, you have Dallas Goedert. I think you give Jalen Hurts one last chance. If he doesn't do something, then the Eagles got to start finding out what's there for him. But I like Jalen Hurts, and I like Treylon Burks for the Eagles this year. I feel it. I like it, Robson. I'm going to give you a thumbs up on that.
And that's a good point about being like built to win, like if the Eagles want to move. But anyway, Garrett Wilson to the Washington football team. I love this pick, Robson. So props to you. I
Commanders.
Commanders.
Dude, but don't say that. Don't say it.
Garrett Wilson to the no, I'm just kidding. We're never going to get used to it because they're probably going to end up changing their name. Yes. Like, well, that was bad branding. We rushed it. We actually want to change our name in 10 years, knowing them. But anyway, the point is, great pick by you. Salud. I got to give you props, man. I like this fit. I thought it was pretty solid. I think that Garrett Wilson is hands down wide receiver 1 in this draft, or Drake London is. But Garrett Wilson, I think, is the best route runner. The closest comparison I have for Garrett Wilson is almost like a Justin Jefferson. So pairing somebody up for Terry McLaurin, that not only makes them more attractive to a big name QB, but I think it also makes them, if they bring in a young QB, it's going to really, really help. So for Washington Commanders fans, this is a good move for you guys. And I think that this would be a great fit. The question is, will he be there when you guys pick? But hey, Robson, Good picks, man. I like these. But I want to move on to our next topic now, just so we can keep it moving, because I got one fun thing I want to do before we wrap up. Let me see. Oh, I want you, Robson, me and Jay will play. You can just real quick rate these, but me and Jay won't say anything to move on to the next topic. But I want an outside opinion on our fantasy draft this weekend, Jay.
Okay.
So these are the teams.
Okay, so basketball fantasy. Okay, I was getting ready to say this is incredibly early to be NFL, so I'm like, what are you talking about?
What are you thinking? Who do you think won? Who do you think lost? Team do you like? What do you got?
All right, so Dalt, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, DeJounte Murray, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, and Andrew Wiggins. That is pretty solid. I like that. Embiid's playing MVP basketball right now. Jimmy Butler, always a reliable guy. DeJounte Murray, I like him, but I think he still has some work to do in other areas. Zach LaVine, adore. Brandon Ingram, adore. Wiggins, I think he's a product of the system, but for fantasy, that's definitely not a bad thing. So I think that's pretty solid. For a grade, I think I give that probably a B+. I think there's a lot of potential there. And Vib, oh my goodness, this is solid. First couple. LeBron James, I mean, do I need to say anything else? Trae Young, deadly when he gets hot. Luka Doncic, in my opinion, probably the best all-around player in the league right now, just with his skill set. James Harden, don't like him as a player in terms of team play, but I like him for fantasy. That man will get you points. Sabonis went to the wasteland of the Sacramento Kings. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say that's a terrible pick. And then Kelly Oubre, did you just have no one else available? I mean,
yeah, so it was a cap draft, so like basically you had to spend money. But what about that guy on the end? I think he did pretty good.
Jay, let's see what you got. Kevin Durant, again, can't deny that. That is one of probably the greatest scorer I've ever seen in my lifetime, Kevin Durant. Karl Anthony Towns, the best center in the NBA, honestly, in terms of just pure skill set. Devin Booker, deadly shooter. Tyrese Halliburton, I like that pick. I like Halliburton a lot. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that is sensational pick as well. And then DeAndre Ayton, that's a solid center as well. My goodness.
Who won?
God, I hate giving Jay any kind of credit for anything ever, but I'm gonna have to give it to Jay. Honestly, that's the best overall team there in my opinion. So Jay, I think I got to give you, as much as I hate to do it, I have to bow down. That's a really good draft right there. It's solid. I mean, you got every base covered with every single one of your players. All those guys can score. All those guys can pass. And all those guys get good rebounds, too. Like, that is a really good, solid basketball team right there.
Well, I will say this, Robson, to kind of glow a little bit. I actually ended up, because I drafted Jason Tatum after those guys, and I actually ended up benching Halliburton for Jason Tatum. And he got me like 75 points on Sunday, and I won by like almost 500 points. So
wow, okay. And Jason Tatum along with all of that. That's impressive.
And keep up with it, guys. We'll keep doing it on our TikTok. Robson, you're more than welcome to come back anytime you want. You know that. But before we wrap up here, guys, I got one fun question for you guys. We did this on my other podcast, 302 Birds. Jay probably knows where I'm headed this, but one has to go.
Oh,
I guess let's give it to Jay first, Robson. I mean, do you want to go first, second, or last, Robson? Pick your order. I think Jay should go first because I can't wait to see what he says off the draw.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear that too. Go ahead, Jay.
You like this order?
You can't. I'm gonna say is you can't get rid of Sprite. You can't get rid of root beer because those are classic drinks. And now it leads me down to Coke and Fanta. Fanta has that little like it sounds like spicy. You know what I'm saying? Like you just hit like South Beach, Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like some Fanta. So, so I'm not gonna mess with no Fanta. And plus Fanta has grape, and grape is so good. Like a grape soda, like different. So
I'm allergic.
So I don't even like soda, but I'm gonna definitely say Coke has to go because Coke is kind of nasty. Pepsi's nasty to me too, though. I think Coke is like the less nasty version of Pepsi, but still, I don't like Coke. I don't like Pepsi. I like Dr. Pepper, but yeah, Coke can go. I just get myself a Dr. Pepper or Bark root beer and call it a night. I don't even drink Sprite, but you know that lean. People not gonna want to let go of that. But hey, kids, say no to drugs. But yeah, that's all I. That's all.
Coke has to go, bro. I don't know.
Coke has to go.
I'll let our guest take it first, and then I'll say what I gotta say. But Robson, what do you think?
Okay, so first off, Sprite, that's the god for me right there. I grew up loving it. Still love Sprite to this day. I will always go for a can of cold Sprite. Root beer, that's also a really good classic one right there. Coke, I don't drink a lot of normal Coca-Cola. I drink a lot of Diet Coke. That's probably my go-to when it comes to that kind of stuff. And then I'm honestly, so it's just straight up just Coke, or am I going to have to say, like, I have to go with the variants as well, have to go too?
You got to go with that straight up drink. What you're looking at on your screen is what you're picking out of your fridge cold.
So with that, I'm going to have to get rid of the Coca-Cola. I don't drink enough of it. I'm not a fan of it, and honestly, it kind of tastes like a little bit of lighter fluid to me. I just feel like every time I drink it, something is happening to me within myself. It just messes me up somehow. I'm honestly not a huge fan of Fanta anyway. Either like Fanta, I will have it on occasion, but again, it kind of messes up my stomach a little bit too. Maybe it's just because I'm a little pussy, but I just said that out loud. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Don't care, trust me.
I talked about lean. Are you talking about that? Ooh.
Yeah, I know, right? That came out of nowhere. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one with my radio people, but neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to toss up. You know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna have to get rid of the Fanta because
it's over. Dog, how you feeling?
No, he said Fanta at the end. He did say
at the
Fanta
end.
at
the end, I'm gonna say Fanta.
Hey,
He had Fanta at the buzzer. I heard you, but I'm gonna say Fanta. I agree. Jake, why did you get rid of Coke? I love Coke. Coke is like Josh said on 302 Birds classic, but as I get it, nobody has it perfect out of either of the podcasts I'm on because I think that the consensus answer is Fanta. Jack put it best. It feels like you got sugar on your teeth after drinking it, but Fanta grape does hit different, Jay. I will give you that. But the point is, Robson hit the nail on the head, man. There's nothing like going up to the fridge and pulling out a can of sweet nectarine Sprite and cracking it open and chugging that bad boy. Nothing feels good like that. So I got to go with Sprite staying. Of course, that's number one. Coke for me is number two. Number three is probably root beer. And last but not least, I'm getting rid of the Fanta. I'm with Robson. But
wait, but not least? So you're saying Coke is the least and we're getting rid of Coke?
No, I'm saying I'm getting rid of Fanta. But Jay, I'll let you get the rebuttal here before we wrap up. But tell us one more thing on our way out, and then give us the honors of the outro. But let us know why you think that I'm wrong and why Coke needs to go.
Because Coke is just nasty. Well, I will say this. We on the West Coast. We don't drink Coke on the West Coast. That's the East Coast thing. I was in Chicago. People drink Coke in Chicago. Can't get a pop. They call it a pop. They don't even call it a Coke. Give me a pop. They take a Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola, I mean, traditionally, historically, it's a good drink, I guess. I don't drink it. We out here. We came out to the West Coast, and we don't mess with Coke. We mess with Sprite. You know what I'm saying? With that purple Sprite. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with that, though. We got the you know what I'm saying, at the bar, and we got the great Fanta, the great drink. So all I'm saying is I'm not messing with Coke. I don't drink alcohol. I guess it's good with alcohol. I don't know, kids. Don't drink alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Stay sober. Henry Ruggs, whatever. But anyway, don't drink and drive.
Hang on. Where did we go into alcohol with this conversation? Wait, where did that come up?
Hey, 302 Birds, immediately right out of the gate, my first question on 302 Birds was, are we mixing alcohol with these? Or I'm like, lunch. You're drinking it with lunch. The first question they asked me is alcohol mixed? But I do want to thank.
It's hard to beat Jack and Coke. I will say that. Hard to beat
It is very tough to beat some of those beverages. I'm not gonna lie, but Mr. Alex Robson, I want to thank you for coming on. You're more than welcome to come back anytime you want. We love having you on here. You crack us up. Yeah, we should send you some stickers. Let me know if you want some. They're very tiny.
Heck yeah.
They're very tiny.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah, but I'll send you some. I'm trying to get some bigger ones. I'll send you some 302 Birds ones too. But do want to thank you for coming on. Tell everybody where they can find your stuff.
The Robson Sportscast, you can find it on any kind of a platform that you use to get your podcast. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, you name it, you can find the show on it. You can find the show on Instagram at the Robson Sportscast. I am awful about uploading new episodes, but I'm on spring break this week, so I'm going to get back into the swing of things, try and get a new episode out at least every 1 or 2 weeks because I need to at least have something for my radio people. And starting up soon, you can find me again on Radio Free Radford. That's a local radio station here in Radford, Virginia, where you can listen in on the show live. So that's going to be super fun to get back into the swing of things, too. Hopefully, I'll be interviewing some RU basketball players soon, too. That'd be really, really cool as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, hit me up. If you have sports topics you want me to talk about on the show, too, feel free to hit up the DMs, too.
Real quick, on the way out, Robson, you can tell us to hit the outro, but real quick, let us know what you think about this for this guy.
He's going to Denver. He's going to the Broncos.
If I were to pick a team that I think, if he were to leave Green Bay anyway, pick a team where he would be going to, it would be the Denver Broncos. Because that's been the team I've heard for forever at this point now. It's always been he's going to get traded to Denver. He's going to go to Denver, join all those weapons. And why wouldn't you? I mean, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Hamler, like that's a solid roster that they have, plus a really good defense. It worked for Peyton Manning. Maybe it'll work for Aaron Rodgers. But either way, my man, unbiased opinion, it don't matter if y'all get him or not. You're still going to lose the NFC Championship game because Aaron Rodgers cannot win in the postseason. Sorry, but not sorry.
Before we go, last thing that I got to say before we go, I have to say it. Robson, me and Dalton called the Bengals to the Super Bowl, and when we called the Bengals to the Super Bowl, you said that we were smoking crack, that we were on crack, the Bengals could never make it to the Super Bowl, that we were on drugs. We have it on YouTube. You can watch it in the comments right now. How do you feel? They made it to the Super Bowl, Made it to the Super Bowl,